What's up, guys? Welcome back to CagedIn MMA. It's your host, Ebit Sochiwa, and this is UFC 298, episode 13, baby. We are getting closer to UFC 300. Getting closer, man. I'm hoping, I feel like it was fate that John Jones didn't fight, because now I could, hopefully Dana White flies me out to UFC 300. But we'll see. We'll see. Trying to make it, these videos out there so he could see. But, anyways, that being said, we got to start off this, you know, little thing with Dana White call out. As you guys know, I've been calling him out every episode. This is episode 13. That means 13 times called him out, and he hasn't responded. So what's going on? Anyways, Dana White, come on, fly me out, bro. I've never been to a fight. Been a huge fan for over 10 years, and I'm barely 10 years old myself. You feel me? Nah, jokes. But anyways, been a huge fan. Spent all this money, on these, these on meeting them. You feel me? They're here. They're actually here in spirit. But anyways, got the Bruce Buffer. It's time. Prime. Come on, I could be the prime reporter. You feel me? Because that's just me, bro. Trying to be that guy. Anyways, if not, no, boys, bro. I know y'all need some little help, on the interviewing side and stuff like that. So, anyways, I could be your guy. But let's go ahead and Dana White, come on, fly me out, bro. I just want to experience a good live fight. UFC 300 would be amazing. So, if you see this before then, hit me up, bro. Fly me out. Got you, bro. Anyways, trivia. You guys already know how trivia works. 3 questions. If you get it wrong, you gotta hit yourself or have somebody hit you. And if you get it right, well, good job. You know the UFC and the fight game. So, first question, by the way, this one is gonna be a little fast because it is a little late. But it's not just that. Um, like the video was late in general. You feel me? So the fight's tomorrow, and unfortunately, just got to make this one quick. Anyways, how long has Volk been champ? I'll give you guys a few seconds to answer this one. So, right, think about it. Think about it. When did he first become champ? So, the answer is 4 years he's been champ. A little over 4 years, but he became champ December 14th of 2019. He obviously beat Holloway for the belt. So, great fight. Obviously, we got the second one. He beat him in that one. Very controversial. But he's the champ, has been champ. Obviously, he moved up a weight class, try to get that double champ status. Unfortunately, lost, but he is back, baby, in his not natural weight, but his best weight class. So, next, we got how long has Paulo Costa been out? Obviously, he had his injury. So, you guys, you know, should know when his last fight was scheduled that he had to pull out, etc. Things like that because of the injury. Anyways, how long you guys think he's been out? Feels like it felt not that long, honestly. Anyways, he's been out for a year and a half since August of 2022. So again, we will see, if that's played a factor, how his injury has healed, how he's doing. And honestly, I'm excited to see him. I was surprised when he made weight. I'm surprised he's been off social media quite a bit, recently. Um, but I'm excited to see him. Like I said, he did weigh in at 185 and a half, and he looks good, man. That man, dude, he could be a bodybuilder or something. Now, obviously, he's Brazilian. You know who he reminds me of? Ramon Dino, the number 2 bodybuilder in the world in Classic Olympia. Anyways, not the point. He looks great. But next question, third question, final question. How old is Henry Cejudo? So obviously, you guys know he was on. He fought. He was champ. He retired as champ. Came back after 3 years and then fought Sterling. Fortunately, lost. But with all that being said, I mean, retiring, everything, doing his own thing. 3 years past. How old do you think this guy is? So he is 37 years old. And honestly, personally, I thought he was a little, I don't know, like I don't know, like I the reason why I put this question is because I was like, when I thought about it, I was like, dude, I think he's like oldish but still youngish. Like I was like, I feel like he retired too early, but then at the same time at the right time. So it's like he retired like 34, stuff like that. People get in their prime like 30s, 32 type stuff. So I don't know. I think he should have stayed retired. He would have been great, but obviously, just like they always say, money talks and stuff like that. So obviously, he was in his investments, having a mentor, did real estate, etc., things like that. And who knows? Did it go right? Did it not go right? I don't know. I didn't. I never saw any like update on the real estate side and stuff like that. So, anyways, yes, sir. He's 37 and fighting again, hoping to claim a belt. So next we got, let's. So I was gonna talk fight news, things like that. Obviously, things that have happened. You guys know the last episode was UFC 297. We got Duplessis versus Strickland. I was going to ask your guys' opinion. I think Strickland won. But at the same time, it was a very, very close fight. So I did have Strickland winning, not by much. Wasn't a landslide win, but was he robbed? Like, can you say, oh, he was robbed? Eh, it's a tricky one because it was very close. I love the fight though. I loved it. I'm pretty much on Dana White's side when it says like you got to take the belt from the champ. You feel me? And I don't think he took it from Strickland. I think Strickland was, especially the way he ended it. He's a dog, man. He definitely, again, I mean, he won the fifth round. I don't think any judge, didn't give him the fifth round. But that being said, I do think Strickland won the fight, but let me know what you guys think. I don't like. I'm not mad at the judges or anything like that, uh, because it was a great fight and honestly could have gone either way, right? Um, they had it split in the middle, like with the media and stuff like that, and many people had it differently, right? Like even Joe Rogan, right? He had Strickland, other people had Duplessis, things like that. So again, man, like even all around, it was a crazy fight, great fight, and that one was hard to judge. Anyways, going on UFC 298. Let's go ahead and get into the main card. Like I said, this one's going to be a little short. I've been doing long ones for a while, like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So trying to keep it short this time, right? See how that plays out. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. We got Marab versus Cejudo. Now, this isn't the first fight on the main card, but I'm keeping it to the last four fights. So, Marab and Cejudo, the first fight of the main card is going to be crazy, but this is the second fight. Anyways, Marab is 16-4, Cejudo is 16-3. It's actually crazy because again, Cejudo, I've been watching for a while. Obviously, like I mean, we're talking like, I remember watching um the fight against him and Joseph Benavidez. I don't know if you guys know Joseph Benavidez. He was a fighter a while ago. He actually is the husband of Megan O'Leary, if you guys didn't know. But anyways, I remember watching him back then, and I was like, dude, this guy is definitely going to be champ one day. He lost to Benavidez, but again, he came back obviously stronger, everything, this and that, and he became champ. So obviously, Cejudo is known as Triple C, Olympic champion as well, things like that, etc. But Marab is 16-4, Cejudo is 16-3. Marab is on a 9-fight win streak, guys. He has 3 knockouts, 1 submission. I mean, he's beat people like Jan, right? Aldo, Moraes. So it's like, bro, this guy, he has a decent record. You feel me? Obviously, Cejudo, he kind of he has more of a legendary uh record, you could say, because again, back then, bro, like I'm not really, I think fighters definitely get better over time, especially like the newer generation. They're getting better because they have more to learn from, they have more skills to see from, right? Even from UFC 1, bro, everybody had their own specialty, right? everybody talked about, the jiu-jitsu practitioner versus the karate practitioner, and everybody only specialized in one thing. Now you specialize in everything. So, although the fighters that Cejudo has fought, compared to, in my opinion, this is my opinion, by the way, compared to Marab, to this date, Cejudo definitely has the, at least, what can you say, the advantage in experience. There we go. So Cejudo, let's go to his stats. He has 8 knockouts, 5 first round finishes. He did lose to Sterling after coming back. Could be the ring rust. You didn't really see him like he's fought before, honestly. Although, but you got to give it to him. Like Henry did go for the takedowns. Sterling did defend them very well, and obviously Sterling. I mean, bro, he has great coaches. I mean, Matt Serra, bro. Come on, man. It's Matt Serra. So, like I said, he's beat Dominic Cruz. Now, he beat Dominic Cruz again in 2020. So, that was his last win. Now, he lost, I mean, he won with the, you know, for the belt. And here's also another thing. I don't know if you guys remember this fight, but when he fought Dominic Cruz, in my actual genuine opinion, bro, the fight was stopped too early. Like, and I understand it was especially for the belt, things like that. Dominic Cruz, he kind of went down against the cage, and then, Henry Cejudo was pounding on him, but he was still getting up. So, again, it was for the championship belt. At the same time when I watched it, I feel like I was a more fan of Dominic Cruz, so I guess emotion in a sense played in the part. But like I said, I mean, I still feel like it was a early stoppage. But let me know what you guys think. I mean, should he have gave him more time to get up? But anyways, he beat Dominic Cruz 2020. He's beat Moraes. He's beat TJ Dillashaw. He's beat Demetrius Johnson, which in my opinion is one of the top 3 greatest of all time. I have my own list, and there is John Jones, GSP, and DJ. And I feel like with everybody, you could rank them in any order, and it will be right. Whether you put DJ first, John Jones second, GSP third, or John Jones first, DJ second, GSP third, or GSP first, and etc. Things like that. Now, obviously, my favorite fighter of all time is John Jones. I'm always gonna put him first. But then I feel like I'll tell you this now. My GOAT list, you guys don't know already, I think I've talked about this already, is John Jones, GSP, and then DJ. So I rank it like this. I'm not going to get too much in it because we got to talk about UFC 298. But, anyways, John Jones never really lost, been dominant, things like that. Obviously, he's used PEDs, things like that. But again, he's been the best fighter forever, especially going to a heavyweight, finishing Cyril Gahn so quickly. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's easy, bro." Francis Ngannou fought him for 5 rounds. Okay, now y'all are over here talking about, "Oh, nah, like, yeah, Cyril Gahn is the easiest fight, bro." Y'all are saying Francis Ngannou is the dominant champion, so it's like he should have been dominant against Cyril Gahn. But anyways, GSP, what he's done with the sport, but just being great all around. Like he showed mixed martial arts, and that's what many people don't understand is that he showed that you could be great all around in submission game, wrestling, obviously karate and like stand up game. It's crazy. He's great all around, and then DJ as well. All these 3 fighters are great MMA practitioners, and that's why, again, at the end of the day, I believe they're the 3 greatest of all time. So, anyways, going back, he's beat DJ though and Pettis. He has a lot of well-renowned names in there, and not even going further than that. Yes, he's lost to, like, again, Sterling, or even he's lost to Benavidez, but these guys were also dogs. I think Joseph Benavidez, his record was like 20, what was like in the 22s, like to 3. Obviously, he had lost to Figueredo and stuff like that twice, but one because of headbutt, etc. Things, whatever. But again, these guys are dogs. So, anyways, next we got Geoff Neal. He's 15-5 versus Ian Gary 13-0. Now, excuse me. Neil, we'll start off with Neil. He has 9 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 6 first round finishes. Neil doesn't have an insane resume, but I mean he's beat people like Vicente Luque and Ponzinibbio, and believe it or not, he's beat Bilal Muhammad. So it's crazy because like many people, I mean, I guess you could say he's um he doesn't have a crazy resume, but I mean, he's still very great. So it's like, I mean, you can't doubt this guy. But anyways, to get to the point, sorry, I got distracted a little there. But yeah, I mean, he's beat like Bilal Muhammad. Obviously, Bilal Muhammad right now is one of the high ranked, um, you know, people in the division and things like that. But again, I mean, anything can happen in the fight game. We got Ian Gary. He's number 10 right now. He also doesn't have like such a stacked resume either. Both of them, they're not, when I say stacked, they fought great fighters, but obviously we're talking about like top contenders now getting into the top 10 and maybe even top 5, things like that. So they're working their way up. Ian Gary obviously is pretty much new, not new to the game, but new UFC rankings, stuff like that. So he's number 10. Obviously, he's had some injuries, etc. His last injury, so it's put him out. He was supposed to fight um, Wonder Boy, then Luke, and now he's fighting Neil. So he's kind of been all over the place right now. But he's finally stepping back in the cage tomorrow. He's number 10 ranked, 7 knockouts, 1 first round or 1 submission, and 4 first round finishes. So he's beat people like Neil Magny, Rodriguez, Green, and again, it's not so stacked because again he's working his way up, but he is. By the way, he is getting a lot of hate now. He's from Ireland. Many people thought he was gonna be the new McGregor, the way he like held himself, and again being Irish. I mean, so it's like this guy definitely could have been a greater star, obviously, than news leaked, with all his nutritionists being his etc. This and that. They did talk about it, although he did talk about it. He was like, "Look, like honestly, like when he spoke about it, I respect it. It's his wife's ex-husband is a well-renowned nutritionist. His stepson is his nutritionist kid, so it's like keeping them close, all that stuff. The way he does it, he explains it, it's respectable. But obviously because of that, because of media, because of social media, because of like again just everything, how the world works, he gets hate. And I mean, hey, like it also, you got to understand that drives attention, especially as fans. Now you got fans that hate him, but guess what, people want to see him lose now. People want to see him get knocked out, everything, or all this stuff. So it's like it brings a different sort of excitement to the sport, and it's good. Like especially when I see these fans, things like that, like your newer generation especially coming up, like it's just fun to watch because it's like obviously before, like bro, you're watching the fight game because you love fighting. You feel me? Now it's more like actually getting into personal lives, things like that. I'm not very big on that, but it brings a different energy. And hey, man, like, as long as the sport's getting bigger and more attention is drawn to it and everything, and more heat is created, I love it. So, next, we got the co main event of the evening. We got Robert Whitaker versus Paulo Costa. So, Robert Whitaker, he's 25-7-1, one of my favorite fighters ever to step on this earth. Then we got Paulo Costa, 14-2. I'm not biased. I like Costa also. So, we'll start with Costa. Costa has 11 knockouts, 1 submission, and 9 first round finishes. He got that knockout power. Now, this is actually funny because when he was fighting like Adesanya brought up a good point. He was like, bro, everybody talks about his knockout power. Look at this, look at that. But he's never knocked anybody out. If you guys didn't know, most of them are TKO because like whether it's ground and pound things like that, so refs comes in and stops it. So it's a TKO, not a flat out cold knockout. Now here's the thing though. When you look at the middleweight division, not many have cold knockouts, bro. Like it's very hard to find a cold knockout. So a lot of them end in TKO. You know, other than like for example, Adesanya, what he did to Pereira, things like that. Like those knockout colds doesn't happen a lot in middleweight division. So it's a fun fact if you guys want to look into that. There have been obviously knockouts, all that stuff. I mean, bro, like think about like going back Romero, Rocco, things like that. But I mean, legitimately speaking, like, there's not much in that uh division. So TKOs are the majority of the knockouts per se. So, anyways, next we go. I mean, again, Costa, he has a decent record actually. He's beat Rockhold, Vittori, Romero, Hall, Hendricks. Like, bro, this guy, let me tell you something. For the amount of fights he's had, which is 14, he has a decent record. And if you say, "Oh, he's fought nobody's," bro. I mean, these guys are dogs. I mean, if you don't think Rockhold is an amazing fighter, Vittori obviously he gets so much hate for being boring, etc., things like that. But obviously he made it to the top for being good. Uh, Yoel Romero, come on, the Soldier of God, bro. Like this guy is. I mean, that fight especially the way Romero was able to take those head kicks, everything. I mean, bro, it's insane. So I love that fight. One of my favorite fights ever because it was just a dog fight. So I'm hoping Whitaker and Costa is like that as well. But let's go to Whitaker now. He has 10 knockouts, 5 submission wins, 2 first round finishes. He just lost to Duplessis. I agree with Strickland on this one. He seemed off. He didn't have his step. Now it could have been because Duplessis is that good, and we saw it with Strickland, right? He impressed me, but I still don't think that he could have cut Whitaker. I feel like just Whitaker was having that bad day. Now who knows? Maybe the game plan was like, hey, Whitaker takes this step a lot, this double step, etc., things like that. But I mean, hey, he beat Whitaker. But anyways, let's talk about Whitaker. He's beat Vittori. This is his resume now. Whitaker and Adesanya at the top. Whitaker held his number one spot for a long time. Adesanya claimed his spot as a champion for a long time. The middleweight division has momentum now because of the new champs. But bro, listen to Whitaker's resume. He's beat Vittori, Gastelum, Cannonier, Darren Till, Romero twice, Souza, Brunson, Hall, Tavares. Like, this guy is a dog. So, I mean, bro, like, if you don't know all of these guys, I mean, at least watch the fights because they're amazing fights. I mean, Whitaker, Romero, dude, it was a beautiful fight. Uh, against Brunson, Vittori, Gastelum, Cannonier, like this guy showed that he was levels above these guys. Obviously, the Romero and Whitaker, that one was a dogfight as well. But like I said, I mean, dude, Whitaker has an insane record, and that's why when he fought Duplessis, honestly thought nobody other than Adesanya could beat Whitaker because the way his movement, everything, he seemed levels above everybody else. Like I said, this is the fight game, man. And having the right coaches, having the right mentality and being healthy and everything, like, dude, it changes, man. I mean, one mistake could cost you the fight. So I love it. Anyways, next, we got the main event of the evening, fighting for this belt right here. I'm excited for it. Can't wait. UFC 298. Another event closer to UFC 300. Can't wait. The main event hasn't been released for UFC 300, but hopefully Dana White said after UFC 298 he'll announce it. Anyways, next we got Ilya Tapuria 14-0 versus Alex the Great Volkanovski 26-3. So we'll go ahead and start with Ilya Taporia. Taporia has 4 knockouts, 8 submission wins, and 9 first round finishes. He doesn't have an insane resume as well. I feel like he could have got a little more fights in, but everybody in that division has been pretty active. They either won already, lost, etc. recently, things like that. So respect, I don't think he was pushed to the top. I think he pushed himself to the top, but I think he squeezed in his title fight, if you know what I'm saying. So he's beat Josh Emmett. He beat him by a landslide. He beat Bryce Mitchell, which is a phenomenal fighter, and he's beat Herbert. Now, like I said, his resume isn't crazy. I mean, the two best, obviously, Josh Emmett, Bryce Mitchell, in my opinion, from his whole record. Um, Josh Emmett just beat Bryce Mitchell by a vicious knockout. Josh Emmett, as we know, he's an insane just knockout artist, crazy power, a beautiful fighter. And to be like guys like him, you definitely shows that you're the next title contender. Many people thought Josh Emmett was next up for the title. So this guy came in and beat him by a landslide. So again, he's a dog, especially, I was talking to somebody and we were talking about his fan base now, right? Unfortunately, Taporia's mic game, it wasn't that great, so he kind of like, not many cheers for him. But also Alex is also, a fan favorite. So, you know, I think but Taporia, he's obviously Spaniard, so even people like Sergio Ramos, root for this guy. And being from Spain, I mean, you got to understand, like, one of the biggest sports is soccer. Well, Sergio Ramos is part of the one of the biggest sports place for Spain, etc. And then you got to think about it. What's in Spain? Madrid, Barcelona. You had a Messi who played with these teams, Cristiano Ronaldo who played for these teams, and it's all again a big part of it is social media. So Taporia, I believe, can become a huge star if he becomes champion. But again, he kind of has to work on that mic game. I feel like he he came off. He was trying to be too chaotic, and it didn't work out that well as other people have, been better at it. But, anyways, last but not least, we got Alex Volkanovski. 13 knockouts, 3 submission wins, 7 first round finishes. Unfortunately, he is coming off a loss against Islam Makhachev back in October. In my opinion, from being knocked out like that, it's a quick turnaround. But these guys are fighters. They're brave, and their mentality is different. These guys are warriors, and I know Volk said, just sitting around, not doing much. It's like it plays a mental factor. It's like just sitting around waiting for a call, maybe for a fight, for a contract, something. It plays with you mentally. So, um, nothing but respect. I hope Alex is there mentally, physically, emotionally, like he's healthy in there. Because I want to see a fight. I want to see a fair fight. And again, you can wish nothing but the best for both of the fighters. So I also like the fact that when they were facing off, Taporia was like, "Look, I respect you as a man, but as a fighter, you're holding on to my dream. I'm chasing my dream." So it's like that I like because it's like dude, like just as a fighter, bro, you just want to be the best. It's your dream to be the best, things like that. And I think when you show respect to your opponent, people like Charles Oliveira, things like that, have shown it all the time. These guys that are humble and respect each other and things like that, they bring a different energy to the sport, and which I like. But again, people like chaos, and that's why we got people like Chaos Covington over here. So, anyways, let's go into his record. He has a crazy record as well. He's beat Yair Rodriguez, who just beat him, obviously, his last win. He's beat Max Holloway 3 times. Now, obviously, it's controversial, but hey, on his record, he's beat him 3 times. He's beat Korean Zombie, Brian Ortega. Crazy fight, obviously. I mean, dude, the way Volkanovski got out that that choke. I mean, he said he always talks about it. He's like, man, I was seeing the lights dim and everything. So he's beat people like Jose Aldo, Chad Mendez. Like these guys are legends, you know. Jose Aldo obviously was reigning the division for 10 years, so it's like he was champ for 10 years. So it's crazy, man. So let me know what you guys think of the card. I love it. This is one of my favorite fight cards. Prelims are going to be crazy. Like I said, I didn't really go into prelims, but obviously the last prelim, we got Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Lemos. And, I'm excited to see Mackenzie Dern fight again. So, I'm excited for the fights. I can't wait. I'm going to be tuning in, obviously. Hope you guys tune in. Comment down below your predictions for the fights. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Call out Dana White. Tag him. Fly me out, bro. Come on. I got you guys. And I just want to have fun, bro. Be uh, fan fanatic, you know? So, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in and peace.